People are having heated conversations about Superman's sexuality in a new comic series, but I have a different question. Hasn't Superman always been kinda gay? I mean, think about it. Clark Kent pretends to be the same as everyone around him. Although, no one realizes there's a different person right below the surface. He hides his identity from others because he has a fear of persecution.
He's such a free crybaby. His parents won't even let him play with other kids.
He believes that Earth will never accept who he truly is. Superman's plight with humanity isn't that far removed from the LGBT experience. Many of us feel like we have to hide behind superficial disguises, partaking in these performative behaviors to fit in with society. I haven't followed the new series, but I know that this version of Superman is Lois's son, although the stereotypical portrayal of Superman is the character we are going to analyze. So today, I wanted to go over how Clark Kent's struggles map onto the LGBT experience. Also, why having Superman as a bi icon is such a monumental step in terms of representation. I'm Very. If you enjoyed this content, like and share with your friends. Also, don't forget to hit that sub button and notification bell so you always see my latest content. Let's start by going over Superman's plight. He comes from an alien planet called Krypton. His home suffers a great tragedy, but thanks to his biological parents, he survives. His escape pod crash lands on Earth near a farm. John and Martha Kent take in this abandoned child and raise him as their own. Clark Kent is the alias given to him to help protect his identity. Earth's atmosphere is very different than Krypton's, so he has superhuman abilities while on our planet. He hides these powers from everyone because their family believes society won't accept Superman. John and Martha love their child immensely, even though he's not like the other kids.
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
You are my son.
It's important to remember, Clark is a beautiful person, even if the world can't understand him.
What's wrong with me, Mom? Clark.
So to protect himself and others, he hides his true identity. He partakes in performative behaviors, dressing a certain way, acting quirky and aloof to fool those around him, even working at a stereotypical job. All these choices seemingly protect him from scrutiny. Clark is just Superman with glasses, but it's enough to dupe those around him. Then we have the Fortress of Solitude. This area could be thought of as a safe space for Superman, somewhere he can go to be away from everyone. Here, he can express himself and his thoughts free from judgment. Or how about Superman's clothing versus Clark's? Our hero dresses very heterosexual in standard business attire, but when the suit comes off, when in costume, he isn't afraid to stand out in a crowd, unconcerned with how others feel about him. So how are Superman's struggles similar to LGBT members? Well, if we think about his plight, many in the closet have similar experiences. Those in unsupportive environments will often act in a similar performance-like manner. When we believe society won't accept us, we have to take the necessary steps to protect ourselves, although this doesn't come without consequences.
What is wrong with me?
Living this dual life can be extremely taxing. Clark often struggles to balance these two identities. Superman fears that if someone finds out who he is, then his life will fall apart. Many in less than ideal circumstances have palpable fear about their loved ones discovering their true identity. This anxiety might not sound like much, but it can be overwhelming. Any piece of evidence is enough to warrant suspicion. This constant dread can take a huge toll on our mental health. Many of us lucky enough have our equivalent to the Fortress of Solitude, a space where we can be comfortable with those who accept us or finding solace in alone time. Clothing can also be a form of empowerment for gay people, wearing bright colors to signify diversity and inclusivity, also as a way to fight against the status quo of society's expectations. Superman's issues in the older comics and movies can be thought of as an allegory for the lived experiences of LGBT members. So we've gone over some of the ways that Superman's character is kinda gay, but why does this matter? For starters, Superman is a prolific hero. When we say his name, almost everyone instantly knows who we are talking about. There are children around the world who see Superman as a source of inspiration. To have a character of this caliber identify as bi can normalize different sexualities and genders for so many. Someone exploring themselves can see Superman and feel inspired to be proud in a similar fashion. Heroes can be strong in so many different ways. Some have lasers, superhuman strength, or the ability to fly. Superman is lucky enough to have all these gifts, although these are all physical powers. Having the strength to display our true self to the world can be thought of as a tremendous social power. Standing up to societal norms to express ourselves fully takes an incredible amount of courage and constitution. I love this because members of the LGBT can feel powerful having Supes as a role model, although the real reason this is so uplifting is the precedent that it sets. Having representation in this capacity can change the way we depict other heroes. Western comics and comic book media in general have often prioritized some heroes over others. We will always have Batman and Superman movies, but how come we never give any love to Ord the Living Comet? Even the way these heroes' stories are told can feel procedural at times. I'm sure those of you who follow comic book movies have heard of the Marvel formula. Don't get me wrong, I love some Marvel and DC movies, even if they are predictable. Although, prioritizing certain heroes and depictions of those characters is limiting in a way. When we explore different interpersonal struggles, we get to see different aspects of that person's character. We all know Superman's moral compass pretty well, but how about his struggles with sexuality? Hypothetically, this is an idea that would be so interesting to explore. This seemingly invincible person still has to face LGBT discrimination. Not only is this an incredibly powerful sentiment to convey, but it makes Superman more human in a way. He is susceptible to the same social norms as any one of us. Going forward, I think it would be so inspiring to see more LGBT members in the Justice League and Avengers. Having mainstream representation could normalize different sexualities and gender identities in a lasting way. Thanks for checking out this short video. I really appreciate it. Having Superman for inspiration makes me excited to see what the future holds for LGBT members in comics. The media that we consume greatly shades our perceptions of reality. Characters who are portrayed in a harmful manner can genuinely hurt the discourse. Although, the inverse is also true. Having powerful LGBT representation can spread awareness and highlight issues that so many of us face. When we think about previous iterations of Superman's character, they aren't necessarily at odds with this new depiction. Even if Superman wasn't bi at the time, his story can still serve as a powerful allegory for the LGBT experience. Superman isn't only strong physically, now he's strong in the real way. Let me know down in the comments, how did you feel about Superman coming out as bi? I'd love to hear from you.